Hey, what's up guys? AlphaFili here, first video. Let's get right to it. The title of this video is going to be called Diving In. Because diving in isn't just an action, it's a way of living. It's a dive-in mindset. You can embrace this with many other things. Most of you who are used to no-fap, other things such as cold showers, lifting every day, you get the gist of going in, day out, even on the days you don't want to. You dive right in. But diving in goes way more than that. You can go as far as low as just taking a cold shower, opening the door for someone, or doing something new. But diving in is like a butterfly effect. Except, not only does it doesn't end with disastrous events. It actually causes more greater opportunities. See, with the law of attraction, there are many theories that it's simply a vortex. As soon as you believe this one thing, as soon as you dive into this new reality in which you choose to do something new, you begin to embrace other things. So let's begin with an example. Diving in as cold showers, or waking up at 5:30, 4:50, 4:30 in the morning. You wake up. In fact, you jump out of bed because you're so motivated, you're so pumped. You dive right into the event, the action. You dive into waking up, you dive into jumping out of bed because you know ahead of you is greatness, is opportunity. And even then, just jumping out is the action you take because that is what you want to do. That is the diving in attitude. And to further that up, what I like to do is I like to work out right afterwards. I may not be at my energy best, but I do something. So I work on, I do calisthenics. They're all right. I don't have a gym yet, but I do what I do. And to be real, it gets you pretty damn far. It gets you as far as how much you're willing to move. Because moving isn't a car. It isn't you run out of gas type of motion. It's a bike. It's a bicycle, or a skateboard, or any action that requires your willpower to keep going. Your bike, it may run down, and that bike represents your mind, your body, your physicality. It may go down into pieces, but you can there are times when you got to replace it. But that's not what we do. We don't replace our mind. We don't replace our bodies. What we do is we repair and refine our instruments. It's like a knife. Life is a knife. And sharpening our tools is mostly the better way to go than just slashing away. Yeah, we may slash away, test out our new weapons. But hey, they'll go dull at some point if we don't slash them again, if we don't refine them. So diving in. Well, when we dive in, we take an action outside of our comfort zone. And our comfort zone may be so well built that it takes a while to develop a state of comfort outside of it. See, there are people who sit on the couch every day, every night, and they're so used to that like that's their go-to mechanism, even if they don't want to, even if they hate it. But the thing is, you gotta hate and you gotta love two aspects. The hate part, you gotta really hate that couch. You gotta really hate not being there, not living there. And the want, you gotta really desire being out and about and doing stuff. Because this isn't just it's not simply a bad habit, it's more than that. It's a bad lifestyle. And bad lifestyles are not the way to go. They never are, they never will be. And that's common sense. But to be fair, not a lot of people know common sense. In fact, they're so used to their behavior, their behavioral patterns, that common sense just flies right out the door for them, right over their head. And to get back into motion, you gotta start waking up and motivating others, yourself, your homies, your friends, your girlfriends, everyone. And with the dive-in attitude, it's a challenge. It's a lifestyle, and more importantly, it's always will be a mindset. With that mindset, you stick with it, it becomes a becomes an attitude, and it becomes your lifestyle. It becomes you. And damn, that's a sweet bike. Yeah. Yeah. With the dive-in attitude, I want you to understand that it's living without your comfort zone. It's living outside of what you're used to, out of the norm. It's always self-awareness. It's always choice, and it's always it's always something that you've never done before, and it's continuous refinement. Because slashing away at what you're used to is comfort, because you already have your sharp knife, your mind, your body. But expanding beyond that, that's refining, that's sharpening it again. Our blades can only get so sharp, so that's why we got to test, and we also got to use what we have at times, all times. Dive-in attitude is what I love. It's gotten me a long way. 2 years ago, I started freshman year with like little confidence, I wouldn't say no self-esteem. I did have a self-esteem, but I was very independent and not so social, I would say. I wasn't shy. I guess I was shy. We could say that. I was the mindset back then. But eventually, during that winter, I went through some things that, due to my shyness, due to my lack of wanting to be better, it costed me many things. It costed me relationships, costed me good friendships, costed me good experiences. And with that in mind, it really sucked ass. But afterwards, after that winter, after that Christmas, I began motivating myself. Not only for myself, but developing a mindset. Because motivation isn't something you have one day and drop the next day. That's inspiration right there. Or not even that. It's fake fuel. It's like a soda when you're hungry. It may get the job done for like a few seconds or a few minutes, but it's not real food, and nor is it good. But with motivation and a good hustle mindset, you go farther than all the shit that you've ever experienced. Because everything internal becomes everything external. And even then, not everything internal will be up to date with what you want to believe or with what you want to achieve on the external. So be careful. Because while you do believe these things, you got to physically do them at the same time. Because that's one, that's breaking your bad habit. And two, that's refining your mindset. That's refining your willpower, your emotion, your activation. It is what it is. Yeah. So develop these mindsets. Develop the hustle mentality where everything you do has to be for your hustle, has to be for your purpose. Everything you do is the reason why you're moving forward. And two, the dive-in attitude. One, you may be at a spot where you don't like it, or two, you may want to go further beyond. But from those 2 points, take this into account. The dive-in attitude is willing to embrace the suck, embrace anything that you do not know, and just learn from it, experience it, go through with it, find out afterwards, find out during. Just know this: every outcome is improvement. Doesn't matter if it's failure or success. Even success is improvement. Failure is improvement. Failure to try, well, that's a different story. Because one, there's failure to try, and there's not even trying at all. That's not even a failure. It's no effort. And no effort's worse than those three. Failure to try, it's pretty shitty by itself, but to be fair, there's some people who still need us. They want to ease into things, and that's not always the best route to go. Because while you do get there, you get there slowly, and not always surely because of how long it takes. So be wary of that. So follow this through. The dive in attitude. Start taking up habits that push yourself, that you have to jump in order to embrace what you want to feel. It'll be a mixture, because life is always a mixture. It's a bowl, and everything in it is good and bad. Cold showers, these are my habits. I jump in. I go in. At first, before I even jump in, actually, I always tell myself I'm not hesitating, I'm going in. And even if I like take a few seconds, I still get in faster than the time before, because that's the mindset. No matter what, I'm refining my attitude, my behavior. And while I do refine my attitude and behavior, I'm embracing the suck. I'm embracing the pain. I'm embracing the glory and the fame and everything I have to gain, because it's all mixed together. It's not this over here. It's not this over here and a little bit of that over there. It's this put together right here with everything. It's all in it together. So when I jump in that cold shower, it's a feeling of satisfactory, honestly, because I don't just ease into it. I dive in and then I ease into it. See, that's what we should all be doing on a daily basis. Diving in, going in, experiencing it, learning from it, and understanding. Stay calm while you're there too. That's the ease in part. Dive in and ease in. Dive into the greatness. Dive into the coldness. And then ease yourself in. I'm not talking about turning down the cold water and turning up the heat. Nah, I'm talking about clearing your mind and just allowing yourself to be neutral. Be calm. Be calm in the storm. Cold water is the storm. The harsh environment is the storm. The tough practices is the storm. Talking to like a whole group of girls is the storm. And all that shit. But ease into it. You're there. You're in. Now take advantage of your situation. You may look into it, look back, and always look and observe the positive behaviors. Always think of it with a positive note. Because if you think of it with the negative note, you're going to go home whining and pouting about how much you fucking sucked. That's not what we do. We want to get things done. We want to get things right. So what we do is we dive in, we ease in, and while we're there, we think greatly of what we're achieving. We look for more success. Even then, that little thing that you did is already successful enough. And anything that results from it, congratulations, that's a bonus. That's something you get for even doing it. But to be real, you gotta have that winner attitude. It's not always participation points. So dive in, ease in, and aim for another goal. That's where you dive in again. That's where you either set things up where you ease it in and then you dive in. But no matter what, just dive in. AlphaFili out. Talk to y'all in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe.